Howdy, chat. I forgot little message. I talked about barely touch scratch on the PrEP. I always, talk about it, on my previous episodes, which I deleted. And oh man, it's already 6:30 in the morning. I'm having problems with the printer or the scanner, so it can scan the court documents. Anyways, for me, since I've been I'm a Gen X, I was been around the AIDS. They called it the AIDS plague or the gay plague. But I remember when on TV they were talking about it. Then it's today, yeah, it's kind of more talk. Now it's more comfortable, but back then, there's a lot of people dying. I always talk about always know your status. Even if you're not sexually active, know your status. It don't matter if you're gay, bi, straight. Just know your status, because there's a lot of resources out there, medication wise. You could be able to control it and not get the actual AIDS. HIV, it's just kind of the first step towards it. But I always recommend on my one I deleted, make sure you know your status. And a lot of people kind of don't focus on it, but me, I want to spread word, know your status, since I'm on ACA and Medicaid, which is not Sooner Care, it's Title 19. It's like a program that the federal government pays the Oklahoma to take care of me. In Texas, you can't get, you can't have both. But over here, you can, because Oklahoma extended it to can have ACA plus you can have Medicaid. And that was the question about, I got both. But that's, if you have it, it's part of the preventative care. Get your PrEP. I've seen you get a kit, then you get the you got to do sign up, then you got to do a questionnaire with the doctor, and then they send you a kit, urine sample, anal sample. I know, too explicit, but then blood samples. At least you get some of the dots. That's all they care about. They give you 8 or 10 or something like that. Then you send it off. Yeah, and you kind of fill out, insurance. You got, since I have Medicaid, it covered everything. All the medication, and it costs $2,000 for the what's it called? This COVID. That's $2,000. OMG. And I don't know. I gotta look it up and see what tier is it on. Because in Blue Cross Blue Shield, they give you type tier 1 and tier 2. The Farxiga is a tier 2. Where Parmigiano is type 2, tier 2 actually. But I found out that when I spoke with Blue Cross Blue Shield, that Zepbound is not on the drug list. That's why I didn't cover it. So as soon as the 8 o'clock hits, I'm gonna call again, give them a message hey, did you send the paperwork? And the Blue Cross Blue Shield just waiting on your paperwork. They want to know it's medical necessary. It's not because I'm trying to lose weight, because of weight, extra, just for fun. No, I need it because I'm on the CPAP. Plus, there's something going on. I need some help, and that's what I need. And so know your status, and if you don't have insurance like the ACA or Medicaid, they can set you up on a payment plan. And they, it's through the federal government. That's why they kind of advertise, Instagram, and I haven't seen it on TikTok, but I've seen it on Instagram, and all the queens, advertise it. It's better to be safe than sorry. And you never know, I might let my hair down and go like, hoeing around. I'm more like, right-minded, I'm more happy with myself. Sometimes I kind of question about my looks, but I'm more happier now. Even though my brother and my sister, we're kind of like bumping heads, but, I'm more happier. And that's all I care about. And I don't argue. I'm too old to be arguing. I'm living life. LUIVIN. Living. Like, know your status. And if you need help, you know where to get a hold of me. Go to my Linktree. There's all my social. But anyways, you have any questions? I had one. I helped my friend. And Benito says, get checked. Get PrEP. Be what do you call it? Be prepared, like the Boy Scout says. Always be prepared. But it's good to have it, if you're sexually active and don't use, protection. At least you have that. Wish they had that, back in the 80s. I've been hearing like a lot of things, I kind of kept to myself, but hang on, I put hand sanitizer. That's how I am. I kind of, after like doing COVID in, prison, they didn't give hand sanitizer. So I got bleach. And it's hard to get bleach in prison. But anyways, know your status, and if you need help, let me know. I'll help you out. Try to find how to get it. I'm looking at it, it's like $2,000. Like, oh hell. And pinche tompeta se quiere get rid of it, and so the premiums are up for next year, but I don't know, I might fall under. I might be lucky because it's due to my disability. Anyway, Benito and I says, take care, follow me, comment. Benito says, I'd like to get feedback on him. You seen him with me on my on my pics. anyways, ciao. I just had to had to get PrEP. Be safe, practice safe sex. I even have condoms. Remember, I went to the health department, and between last year and this year, I think I've tested for HIV like maybe 4 or 5 times. That's how they're, that's why, because they kind of like something's going on, something they're trying to, point it towards, some STD or HIV. But no, come back, fine. Insurance pays for it, it's preventative care. But anyways, take care. Ciao, au revoir, sayonara, arigato.